The mechanics of how our brains work when we quit drinking is something that isn't really talked about a lot. It's kind of glossed over that we control our thoughts, thus controlling how we feel emotionally. And I think that's a very important thing that you need to realize right off the bat, is that you can reprogram your brain for sobriety. Because a lot of times most people are still approaching sobriety with the same mindset and the same set of thoughts that they had while they were drinking. And what I mean by that is they're not forming new neural pathways in their brain. They're still thinking from a place of scarcity. So when you realize that you can control the thoughts that, not necessarily that come into your brain, but the ones that you attach to, right? You can choose to not attach to your thoughts. Your thoughts and you are separate. And when you start to see that you and your thoughts are separate, you see that the emotions that then arise from those thoughts can be controlled. And if the main reason we drink is to feel a certain way, to feel a certain set of emotions, happiness, relaxation, feeling more ourselves, which is total bullshit, we can start to convince ourselves, and not even convince ourselves, we can actually feel however we want at any point in the day by choosing what thoughts we think. So if someone cuts you off in traffic, I'm going to guess your automatic response emotionally is anger, right? Because you've been down this road hundreds of times. When somebody's cut you off, that is your programmed response, right? Because they're an idiot. They don't know how to drive. They're whatever. But you can reprogram your brain to have that moment hit you with a little shock of gratitude, right? You can say, oh, maybe they're just rushing home to get to a sick kid, or their wife is sick, or their wife is in labor at the hospital, or their parents are dying at the hospital. And that's why they're in a rush. And we can tell our brains that, knowing damn well that's not probably the truth. But if we tell our brains that, and that is the only thought that we tell it, that's what we're going to think. And then in the end, we're actually going to feel the corresponding emotions that go along with that thought. So if we can control our thoughts, we can control our emotions. If we can control our emotions, we can control our actions. And we begin to take the reins of consciously choosing how we do things and why we do things and what we do, including drinking. We start to chip away at that being our conditioned response for a myriad of emotions, and we can begin to plug in thoughts that make us feel those emotions without drinking, right? So instead of feeling good with alcohol, we can choose to feel good at any time for any reason. We can bring up the happiest memory in our life, really step into that memory, really step into that moment. I mean, like, smell what they smelled, feel how they felt. Just embody that person that is in that memory. Feel it till you have goosebumps running up and down your spine. And let that feeling sit with you. And then I'm going to guess 8 times out of 10, you're not going to want to drink after that, because you've got the feeling that you were going to use alcohol to get. Anyways, just a quick little thought. Hope y'all are having a good one. Love y'all.